Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Help is on the way. The state of Michigan is set to receive $8.3 million in funding for COVID-19 vaccine distribution. We'll take a look at where the money is coming from. Plus, it's the day many student athletes have waited for. They can finally return to play. But the state's new guidelines will complicate things just a bit. We'll explain what that's all about. But first, the bitter cold continues here in our state. Will things warm up anytime soon? I think you know the answer to that. Probably no. Of course, the weather topping our news here at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Safe to say it's definitely a cold one out there as we give you a live look on the right side of your screen outside through our sky cam. Looks like we can see some ice there on the Detroit River. Meteorologist Paul Gross joining us now this afternoon in for Brandon. We'll look at if we can expect a warm up anytime soon. And was that in fact ice?
Yes, not only is that ice on the Detroit River, but a lot more of it causing blockages on the St. Clair River. So that flood warning is in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. The Coast Guard cutters, they're doing their best, but they just can't get all of that ice to break up and flow down that river. Right now, the problem is the cold weather. We're getting that ice build up because look at this. Temperatures have just squeaked into the mid-teens in many areas for this midday period. The wind is light, but what's out there is causing a wind chill. 0 is the wind chill in Ann Arbor. 6 at Metro Airport. City Airport in Detroit is at 8 degrees for a wind chill. And look at Adrian. Your wind chill is 2 degrees below 0. The other thing we need to look at is Storm Tracker 4. I wouldn't worry too much about this right here, but what we're watching is this area here. That is going to move in during the evening hours. And when I come back in a few minutes, I'll show you more on the timing of that and also the snow amounts. I have some updated information for you. But for the afternoon, we have this partial sunshine right now, upper teens for a high with single-digit wind chills. And again, I'll be back to talk more about tonight's snow in just a little bit, Evrod.
All right, we will see you in just a little bit. Paul, thank you. We want to get to some sad news. Just into the Local 4 newsroom, Congressman Ron Wright, has died after being diagnosed with COVID-19. The Texas Republican battled health challenges, including lung cancer, and he died on Sunday after being hospitalized for 2 weeks alongside his wife after contracting COVID-19. He was just 67 years old. Today is the day that many student athletes, their parents, coaches, school administrators have all been waiting for. In fact, they've been longing for this day. They are free to play 2 of 4 contact sports, but the state's new guidelines complicate things just a bit. Local 4's Rob Maloney joins us live this afternoon with a look at what the state is telling teams and athletes they need to do. Rod?
Yeah, good afternoon, Evrod. And the state came out with its guidelines last night, as promised, and it was about 8 pages of rather complicated stuff. They spent most of their time talking about how it is that testing is going to make a difference for high school athletes.
Just so there's no confusion about which sports start when, the High School Athletic Association splits the 4 contact sports this way. Starting today, boys and girls basketball and ice hockey. And masks are recommended at all times, although there's a push to play without them. They can with a testing protocol. Starting Friday, competitive cheer and wrestling go. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends against masks in these sports during competition. The testing guidelines are lengthy and complicated. If face masks cannot be worn by athletes age 13 and up, in order to play, they have to have a negative antigen test, that's the blood test, within the preceding 24 hours of play, or a negative RT-PCR test, that's the swab test, within the preceding 72 hours. Now, if a student tests positive, he or she must isolate immediately, get an RT-PCR test within 48 hours, and then stay isolated until no longer infectious. Athletes who test positive for an RT-PCR test must isolate for 10 days from the first positive test and then may not return to activity for a duration of the infectious period. Finally, any athletes who have recovered from a confirmed COVID-19 case in the past 3 months can, if symptom-free, play without testing. That is, provided they provide a doctor's letter stating this is in fact the case.
Now, I did check in with the High School Athletic Association, said who's going to pay for all of this testing, and right now they're saying it's the State Department of Health and Human Services. In the meantime, in going over the 8 pages of documents, there's a lot of information around social distancing at the game, all the team staff, and so forth, also for spectators. And also they spent a lot of time talking about the whole question of how to get to a game, who should travel and how, no school buses and the like. So if you want to see that, we have all the details of it on clickondetroit.com. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Very interesting guidelines coming off watching the professional athletes playing in the Super Bowl last night. Rod, thank you for the update there. Again, he mentioned they're on clickondetroit.com. There you'll also find the latest coronavirus numbers. Let's keep you updated as to what's going on nationwide. The United States has now passed 27,009,000 coronavirus cases, and more than 463,000 people have died from the virus. This is according to the Johns Hopkins University database. And then here at home, we're expected to get the latest numbers in a couple of hours. And despite a dip in U.S. COVID-19 cases, an expert says that the nation is in the, quote, eye of the hurricane as coronavirus variants spread. Meanwhile, Meijer is getting ready to launch a series of vaccine clinics this week at stores throughout our state of Michigan. And they plan to administer up to 25,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses by the end of the week to Michigan residents who are 65 years and older who have pre-registered to get it. In the meantime, the state is set to receive $8.3 million in federal funding, and that would be for COVID-19 vaccine distribution support. According to FEMA, the funding is an advance payment to the state health department, and it's for costs associated with a public information campaign that's focused on vaccination efforts. That campaign is expected to inform the public about vaccine safety, distribution sites, and on how to register for a vaccine appointment. A hopeful trend now today in the battle against COVID-19. Since January, COVID cases are down 61% and hospitalizations have dropped 42%. But as those more infectious variants spread and vaccinations lag behind demand, new partners are stepping up to help in the fight. Here's Tom Costello with more from Washington, D.C.
The NFL is looking to help tackle the vaccine rollout, offering all 30 stadiums as mass vaccination sites, each expected to inoculate thousands of people each day. The country's vaccine supply may soon get a boost as well. Pfizer expected to cut its vaccine production time almost in half, from 110 days to about 60, as some people are struggling to receive their second doses on time.
I see other people getting the second shot, so I need my second shot.
The bottleneck has some health experts calling for a delay of second doses, instead prioritizing getting single shots into as many arms as possible. But Dr. Anthony Fauci is warning against that.
You can do both. You can get as many people in their first dose at the same time as adhering within reason to the timetable of the second dose.
Upping the vaccine urgency, one study, which has yet to be peer-reviewed, finds the UK strain appears to be spreading fast, doubling in the U.S. every 10 days. With more than 600 Americans already infected, that variant is expected to become the dominant strain by March.
One other note here, the AstraZeneca vaccine apparently is not very effective against the South African strain of the virus. In fact, in South Africa, they've stopped using the AstraZeneca vaccine because of that. So while we don't have the AstraZeneca vaccine in the United States, the fact that it's not effective against this mutating strain is a big concern. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
All right, Tom, thank you. The highly contagious UK coronavirus variant has been found in a third Michigan county. State officials say that a case has been confirmed over in Kent County. That's on the west side of Michigan. The Kent County Health Department did not give details about this patient who has it, but last week, state officials said that there were 28 variant cases in both Washtenaw and Wayne counties. In other news this afternoon, it's been a big week in Washington. Democrats are going to start laying out what COVID relief will look like, including new payments for parents. This is coming as former President Trump's impeachment trial is set to begin tomorrow. Tracy Potts breaks it all down.
Let's talk about where your lawmakers are today. Senators here in Washington for the impeachment trial. Representatives, some of them going home, leaving the leadership to work out the actual language on COVID relief, stimulus checks, and this new potential payment to parents.
Recovery package, but
Democrats are preparing to vote on COVID relief in 2 weeks, including stimulus payments. In an interview with CBS Evening News, President Biden said the payments will phase out based on income.
It's somewhere between an individual making up to 75 and phasing out and a couple making up to 150 and phasing out. But again, I'm wide open on what that is.
The president admits this bill will not raise the minimum wage, but Democrats are planning to add new child payments up to $3,600 paid monthly starting in July. Republicans argue the $1.9 trillion plan costs too much.
Sometimes a cure is worse than a disease.
Stimulus talks continue as the Senate prepares for the Trump impeachment trial to begin tomorrow.
I think this is a very bad idea. 45 plus Republicans are going to vote early on that it's unconstitutional.
A handful of Republicans say they'll be impartial jurors.
I'm going to listen to the arguments on both sides and make the decision that I think is right.
Those arguments may or may not include witnesses.
There will already be over 100 witnesses present, and those will be the House and Senate members.
But getting 17 Republicans to convict still seems unlikely. I'm Tracy Potts, Local 4 News.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Not long ago, President Joe Biden arrived back at the White House after spending the weekend in Delaware. Reporters asked him about the impeachment trial and Trump potentially testifying. This is what he had to say.
We've got an offer to come and testify. He's decided not to. We'll let the Senate work that out.
Senate Democrats are leaving it up to House managers. The prosecutors, whether to call witnesses, they haven't said yet whether or not they will. So to come here on Local 4 News at noon, the United States is back. Recently, the Biden administration made headlines for rejoining the World Health Organization, but that's not the last of their efforts to impact global policy.